Hey guys, welcome to your Chapter 2, Lesson 7 notes on solving proportions. By the end of the day, you will be able to solve and to apply proportions. So let's jump right in. Let's say we're making a bracelet with a pattern of 2 large red beads followed by 3 small blue beads. So we've got 2 large red beads followed by 3 small blue beads. The pattern repeats for the whole necklace, and how many blue beads would you need for each of the following bracelets? We're also going to draw each bracelet to give us a visual. So here's the pattern. We have 2 big red ones and then 3 little blue ones. If we have 8 red beads in total, we will need to repeat this pattern 4 times. Let's count to make sure we have enough red beads. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That matches, in fact, our 8 red beads. Now, how many blue beads do we have? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 blue beads in total. Let's do it again. We can use the same pattern. We have 2 red beads followed by 3 blue beads. Now this time we're only going to have 4 red beads in total. So let's mimic our pattern. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 red beads and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue beads here. My mom would really like this example. She crafts jewelry. So what is the ratio of red beads to blue beads in each case? Well, remember that a ratio means a fraction. So to do a ratio, we're going to create a fraction, which is all of our red beads over our blue beads. Now, just looking at the basic pattern itself, remember that we had 2 red beads followed by 3 blue beads. In fact, we could recreate this pattern as saying like 2 red beads for every 3 blue beads. So we could say that's for each case. I'm getting right to the answer. We have 2 reds for every 3 blue beads. Okay, so in each case up here on our first example, we had 8 red beads for every 12 blue beads. And over here, we had 4 red beads to every 6 blue beads. And 8 twelfths is the same as 2/3, because if we divide by 4 on each top and bottom, divide by 4, we get 2/3. And over here as well, if we divide by 2 top and bottom, that reduces out to 2/3. So our ratio of red to blue is 2/3. So that's a review of a ratio. Today we are going to set 2 ratios equal to each other and call that a proportion. So a proportion is an equation that states 2 ratios are equal. So up here we saw that 8 twelfths equals 2/3. This is a proportion because we have 2 ratios and they're equal. Another example of a proportion is 4/6 equals 2/3. This was also a proportion because it has 2 ratios that are equal to each other. Now, how was this useful? Well, we can actually solve proportions just like solving an equation. Check out this proportion, for example. What if we wanted to solve by m? Remember, to solve an equation, you need to undo what's happening to your m. What's happening to our m here? Well, this is the same thing as m divided by 12, right? So if we have 7/8 is m divided by 12, to undo the divide by 12, we just need to multiply by 12 on both sides. So we multiply by 12 on both sides, and that will undo your divide by 12. So we get 12 times 7 divided by 8 equals m. And 12 times 7 is 84. And 84 over 8 is 10.5. So 10.5 equals m. Look, we solved our proportion. Yay! But guess what, you guys? There's a better way. There's a better way to solving an equation. And why is that? Well, I guess I shouldn't have rewritten this, should I? But that's okay. We are going to find the cross product. And how we find a cross product is we multiply across. You'll notice we'll do a cross product. I'm going to change my color scheme real quick because I use the same cross product scheme in all of my classes. So there are two steps to solving a proportion. The first step is it's the same step. We're going to cross. Cross means like apply, like a cross, like a diagonal. And we're going to find the product. Product means multiply. It's product with a D because I can spell. Product means times. So they're basically the same thing. And what that looks like is you multiply across like this. And we did this already. You saw the action of 12 times 7. And then, well, we technically do 8 times m, but then we undo that to solve for m. So I'm going to do an example, and you're going to see how that comes into play. All right, here we go. So cross products are helpful when solving an equation because cross products of a proportion are always equal. So let's start out with an example. If we have 8 twelfths, and I tell you that that's equal to 4 sixths, because you can divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. Let me show you how cross products are equal. Remember, to find cross products, we're going to make this big ol' x guy, and we multiply them together. So that's the same thing as 8 times x, and I claim that that's equal to 12 times 4. Well, 8 times x is 48, and 12 times 4, that is 48. Those are equal. Sweet. Now guess what, guys? This is true for any proportion. Why? Well, let me tell you. So if you have a over b times c over d, I claim that you can multiply a over b times c over d. Sorry, a times d equals b over c. Well, why does this work? Let me show you the hidden steps between them. Oh yeah, so we have a times d, which is our yellow step, and b times c, which is our blue step. So let's say we start out with a over b equals c over d. Well, if I multiply both sides by d, I get d times a over b equals, and then the d's cancel out, leaving me with just c. And now I'm going to multiply both sides by b, and here the b's cancel out. And d times a is the same thing as a times d, because alphabetical order. And c times b is the same thing as b times c, because alphabetical order. So there you go. It's true. Great. Now why is this helpful? Well, it helps us solve proportions faster. So we're going to use this pattern. Okay. So let's find the cross product here to solve this proportion. So, by using cross products, we know that 4 times x equals 3 times 8. Because we found our cross product, we have 4 times x is 4x, and 3 times 8 is 3 times 8, which is 24. So 24, just kidding, 4x equals 24. And then, to get x all by itself, we divide by 4 on both sides by the division property of equality. Sorry, inequality is our next chapter. And then these 4's cancel out, and we're left with x equals 24 divided by 4 is 6. Ta-da! Well, let's check our work. Is it true that 4/3 equals 6/8? Equals 8/6? Well, 4/3 is 1.3 repeating, and 8/6 is also 1.3 repeating. So yes, another way that you could check it, oh, I guess I didn't need to erase that, is 8 is 4 times 2, and 6 is 3 times 2, and then these 2's reduce out. So yeah, we did it. Good job, guys. Alrighty, so that's nice. But what happens when life gets a little complicated? Guess what, guys? The same process, the same cross product idea is true no matter what's in your proportion. So we're going to take our cross products and move them to a new situation. So what happens if you have this whole complicated thing? Well, guess what, guys? We still have this same pattern. B minus 8 times 4 is still going to be equal to 5 times b plus 3. But we have to consider the whole number itself. So this is one number and this is one number. So that tells us that 4 times b minus 8 equals 5 times b plus 3. So we use our cross product rule even though life gets a little bit more complicated. And then we distribute our 4 into b minus 8, giving us 4b minus 32 equals, distributing our 5, 5b plus 15. Now using our favorite properties of equality, we get that b is equal to negative 47. Fantastic, right? Now, great, but when are we going to use this in real life? Well, I'll tell you. Let's say you've got a portable media player, so like an iPod, if you remember way back when, and it has 2 gigs of storage, which is equal to 500 songs. Now, if you have a larger player that has 80 gigs of storage, how many songs can the larger media player hold? Well, we can set up a proportion. We know that the small guy has 2 gigs of storage, which is 500 songs. Now that same ratio is going to apply to an 80 gig player, and we want to know just how many songs. So here, let's let x be equal to the number of songs it has. Oops, number of songs. Let's use our cross product rule. So we multiply across, giving us 2 times x equals, I forgot my highlights, sorry. So for my yellow cross product, we have 2 times x equals 500 times 80. Well, 2 times x is still 2x. 500 times 80 is 40,000. And to get x all by itself, we'll divide by 2, divide by 2. So x equals 20,000. This means this larger player can hold 20,000 songs. That's a lot. So whenever you have a proportion, you need to use cross products and to find your answer. Now notice, when I set up my proportion, similar units are in the same spot. So my gigs are both on top, and my songs are both on bottom. They always need to line up. They need to be in the same spots. So the units need to line up. This is very, very important, or else your proportion will not work. Oh, is that it? You guys, that's it. That was so fun. Okay, key idea of the day. Remember to use your cross products and that you need to have similar units, the same units, both on top and on bottom, like that. They must line up. Okay? I hope you have a fantastic time on your homework. And when you work on your homework problems, put these little reminders up here for yourself so that you have your key idea all in one spot. Have a great time with your practice problems.